Want to get your business in front of real sports fans? The Fade Route with D and Z reaches over 1,000 listeners every month. We drop fresh episodes every week and stay active on social media so your brand doesn't just get heard, it stays top of mind. Ooh. Local, loyal, and ready to spend. That's our audience. Are you ready to be part of the in crowd? Yes! Let's talk about how we can increase your foot traffic or get people to visit your website. Email us today and or message us on our socials so we can find the best packages for you. You can hit us up at faderoutemail@gmail.com and find us on our socials at Fade Route Podcast. Time to run the go route and talk to you next week.
Coming at you from the AO Studios, it's the Fade Route with D and Z. Here are your hosts, D and Z.
Powered by Riverside FM.
Coming at you live from the AO Studio.
Ayo.
It's the Fade Route with D and Z. I am D, and we've got a great show for you tonight.
Yep.
ESPN buys Red Zone. The Cleveland Browns have 6 quarterbacks. And we go over the winners and the losers of the MLB trade deadline. We boldly begin today's show with more holdouts from training camp. James Cook has decided he wants an extension, so he will attend camp but not practice, kind of like a sit-in. He joins Micah Parsons, Terry McLaurin, and Trey Henderson on the list of players attending practice but not practicing. So Z, which of those players are more pivotal to their team's success?
In the immortal words of Marshawn Lynch, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
I'm serious about it. Yeah, because some of it was up to I think Trey Hendrickson's $50,000 a day, something like that.
Yeah, it's $50,000 a day.
Day.
In recent years, under the new CBA, they can't even forgive those fines.
That's right.
So that's what you're getting right now if you're holding out. You're getting the big old shaft. And guess what? It's your fault. You're the one holding out. The team is not making you hold up. You are holding out. So it hits you in the wallet. I believe it was Walter Jones who was on a contract holdout. And he said, I looked at how much money I was losing and I got into camp. Because I saw the bill. If you have the ability, if you have the stomach to hold out, right? That's what they're banking on, right? They're banking on the fact that you're just going to crumble because eventually $50,000 a day adds up, right?
Wild.
It's wild. It's not going to be like Emmitt Smith. Most of these guys will cave. Most of these guys will take the field.
How could you not?
Exactly. But now you're looking at who is more pivotal. Well, Terry McLaurin now has Deebo Samuel there. So if they turn around and flip Terry McLaurin, the commies are still good because they got Deebo. Whatever he may be. We are unsure if he's going to be in some sort of reduced capacity, but Deebo's still Deebo. Terry might get flipped, if anything. Micah Parsons, yeah, that defense goes as you go. They had 12 sacks last year. He had 12 sacks last year, 30 solo tackles. But the Cowboys aren't going anywhere with you. They're not going anywhere without you. So I get the whole thing about a verbal agreement versus a written contract and the feeling that Jerry Jones, was working with you as they were having this conversation. But yeah, at the end of the day, we both picked the Cowboys for last, right? So are you really pivotal on the last place team? So that leaves you with Cook and that leaves you with Hendrickson, right? The anchor of the Bengals defense, without whom there is no pass rush. There is no pass rush. And with no pass rush, there's not much of a defense there. There really isn't much of a defense there. Yeah, I get Shamar Stewart is there. And he just got in the camp too, like about a month ago, right? Maybe even less. Because he was trying to figure...
He just got there.
Dude was trying to figure out how to reclassify so you can go back in the draft. Shit. I got taken by the Bengals. Shit. Come on. How do I get out of this situation? And Hendrickson, how many times has he asked for a trade? Right? Yeah, 17 and a half sacks, 33 solo tackles. Yeah, he's the engine. But we've been saying it for years, man. The Bills need a running game. So James Cook is absolutely necessary. He is absolutely critical to the success of the Buffalo Bills and any aspirations they may have. Because you're looking at 16 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. Who are you replacing it with? Good fucking luck. Good luck replacing that. You've been trying to find him for years, and now you got him. He's there for you. In camp. He knows that he's got you by the balls. He knows how good he is. He knows how indispensable he is to this offense and by extension to this team. James Cook is the guy. But you can't afford to have James Cook sit out. You can't have James Cook miss any extended time. So I get Trey Hendrickson, I get Micah Parsons, I get Terry McLaurin, but for me it is absolutely 100% James Cook.
Yeah, I mean, for me, we're both down on the Cowboys. I don't think it matters. I'm one of those few people that actually don't think Micah Parsons is really that good. He's okay, but to me, he's like a tweener. He's not an end. He's not a linebacker. He kind of reminds me of like a Clay Matthews, like kind of player. Like, that's just my opinion. Mm-hmm. Terry McLaurin's interesting, because he's really good, but the problem is he's kind of sneaky old. He's like 30, 31. And I think his mindset is he wants his payday. He sees how good this team is. He was their best receiver last year. He's looking for his payday. I don't think he's going to get it. They probably would be really smart to trade him because he does have value.
100%.
And I'm weird. I've got the mindset of a GM. I feel like I believe in playing out your contract. Especially if we don't really want you. If we don't really give a shit about you. Like, just, play your last year. Play for your next contract. You sign this thing, not me. And it's not like, if I don't see a future here for you, then I'm not obligated to give you anything. Like you said, they've got Deebo Samuel. He's not Terry McLaurin, but hey, man, next guy up. What are we going to do? James Cook, I don't see James Cook doing what he did last year. Okay. I don't see the 16 touchdowns or how he crushed it. He was on my fantasy team. He got me to the championship. Like, he was amazing last year, right? But believe it or not, he was actually like in a three-headed monster last year. Like, they had Trey Johnson and they also had Ray Davis. Ray's good. Ray came in for Cook in one game and lit it up. And he's smaller than Cook. I don't know if he's as durable, but he's good. I mean, they could get by with those two backs. And Josh likes to run it anyway, So for me, really, it's Trey Hendrickson because that defense is so bad. It's so bad. If you take their best player off of that defense, geez, the games are going to be in the 60s. I've been watching season 2 of The Quarterback on Netflix, and it's amazing, like, how great of a season Joe Burrow had. How great of a season Jamar Chase had. T. Higgins played even well. Chase Brown came along. It didn't matter. It did not matter because they could not stop a nosebleed. And Trey Hendrickson, I think he led the league in sacks, I'm pretty sure, or he was really top 3 or top 2 in sacks.
No, he led the league, man.
It didn't matter. It didn't matter. So, I do think he matters in the sense of things can get really out of control if you don't have him. The other part I feel about him is I feel he is worth the money. He is worth the investment. He is worth extending. He's your best defensive player. Extend him. In those other scenarios, like James Cook he's their best running back. He's not their best offensive player. You know, Terry McLaurin, he's their best receiver. He's not their best offensive player. Micah Parsons, he's probably their best defensive player, but they're not going anywhere anyway. Like, all these other teams have aspirations of actually competing in the Super Bowl. And actually, Micah Parsons is doing himself a disservice in all the things he's doing. Requesting a trade, saying I'll play for the Kansas City Chiefs for less. I'm not going to win a Super Bowl here. Dude, Jerry Jones pays everybody. He will pay you. He paid Zeke. He paid Dak. He paid CD. He will pay you. Shut your mouth and just go out there and practice. And I promise you, by week 1 or week 2, you will get your money. But if you're going to keep dogging them like this and saying all this stuff, man, they're going to pull a Khalil Mack deal. Why not?
It doesn't serve him because other teams are watching. If he's unhappy, this is what Micah Parsons is going to do.
Yeah, who wants
It's kind of
that?
like Darrelle Revis. Like, very, very similar in that regard. Darrelle Revis didn't have the nicest things to say about the Jets.
They still gave him the money. They still put him in the Ring of Honor. Meanwhile, he won a Super Bowl with the Patriots. What a joke. And they traded him to the Bucks, if everybody remembers, where he got hurt. And then I even think he spent some time with the Chiefs.
Yes, I believe so.
What a joke.
It's
Clown
ridiculous.
organization.
It's absolutely ridiculous. But at the end of the day, we have to. You mentioned aspirations, right? You talked about aspirations. There are none in Dallas.
No.
There are absolutely fucking dick all.
No, other than them being America's team and, you know, sucking it up every year.
We could live in a world. We could absolutely live in a world where Dak gets traded and Micah Parsons gets traded. Good fucking luck. You hear about how Joe Milton is doing so well, and he can start.
Good.
He's good.
He's good.
But come the fuck on. Like, really. Like,
he could
calm
start.
down. Can you pump the brakes just
you
a
don't
little
think
bit?
he could start? I think
it's
he could
7-on-7. Can we actually put him in a real friggin' game that is not week 18? Could we not Matt Flynn this guy? Let him actually. If he beats out Dak Prescott, great. You earned it. But don't hype this kid up to the point where he can't back it up.
It reminds me of a Tony Romo situation. I remember when Dak was in there, Tony Romo was hurt, and Dak had a great preseason. And then Tony couldn't play. Tony did play, but then he got hurt early on.
He got hurt again. I think he broke
and he
his
never
clavicle.
gave it back. Yeah, he hurt his back.
Yeah.
He never gave it back. Joe Milton could do that, man. Milton could throw. He could run. I don't know why the Patriots gave up on him, but I guess because they just really liked Drake May and they just didn't want that in the quarterback room, you know? I'm guessing.
You really don't want like an RG3 Kirk Cousins situation again, kind of like that. But if you really see it, like, he's never seen. If Joe Milton sees the field for the Patriots, something has gone wrong in their eyes. But here in Dallas, he's actually got an opportunity.
I think he's gonna play. I think Dak will get hurt and he'll play.
But if he wins the job outright, if Jerry's
won't. I don't think they'll let that happen. They won't. They're paying Dak too much money to not let him play and fail, or play and suck it up and then put in Joe. But I do think he's going to get burned.
Eventually, he's going to get his shot for sure. Because Dak isn't the most reliable quarterback when it comes to injury anyway. But playoff aspirations, like we said, there are none for Dallas.
Outside of Dallas
their
fans.
own minds. Their
Right.
own minds. Right.
Right.
Thank you for the clarification. The Cincinnati Bengals, I'm higher on them than you are. From a defensive standpoint, there is none. You're right. Offensively, they can compete with anybody. Right? They could be a sleeper Super Bowl contender, but there's two sides to the ball. That's the thing. There are two sides to the ball. And Hendrickson not being there just dramatically weakens the team. But the Buffalo Bills, I could argue it's Super Bowl or bust. Like we're in the Super Bowl or bust, shit or get off the pot time for the Buffalo Bills. The window is closing. The window's absolutely closing. So, like, if not now, when? And for that kind of pressure, for that kind of expectation, you need all hands on deck. And you waited forever for this guy, and now you got him. Don't fuck it up.
Sure.
That's just my perspective.
Yeah, and we were talking about quarterbacks. Interesting quarterback situation going on in Cleveland right now. So the Cleveland Browns have signed quarterback Tyler Huntley. He is the 5th quarterback added to the team this year. Huntley was added because Pickett, Gabriel, and Sanders were all sidelined with injuries in training camp. And Flacco was the only one taking the reps, old man Flacco, and he was getting exhausted. So they needed somebody else to toss the ball around. Having said all that, it turns out Sanders will be starting the first preseason game. He is right now listed as 4th on the depth chart. So is the Browns quarterback competition worse than we think?
If they had to go sign a guy off the street. And to be fair, Snoop Huntley has talent.
I like him. I always liked him.
He's got potential. Now, like any backup quarterback, and Snoop Huntley is a backup quarterback, let's not get it twisted. After a while, you get exposed. And that happened to him. So, he's good on the depth chart. He's good in the room. The fact that you had to go sign a quarterback is bad. It's just fucking bad.
I've heard that Dylan Gabriel is awful. I've heard that when they do their reps in the morning, they have to do like you roll out and throw it to the receiver. He can't hit the receiver. He can't roll out and throw it where he wants. Kenny Pickett's hurt. Flacco was supposed to be the staple. He's a little older. Doesn't have the zip that he had 2-3 years ago. I heard Sanders is having a tough time in the huddle saying the play and then going to execute the play. Like, between the time when he says it and gets to the line, he forgets the play.
So, basically, it's the nightmare scenario that the Giants put him through.
Yeah.
Oops. Oh,
yeah. Shit. This is all what I've heard that's going on at Browns camp. Just, not really knowing the playbook well enough. It seems like Dylan Gabriel's 6-year player, so he knows the playbook, and from what I've heard, Pickett, Flacco, Gabriel are multiple steps ahead of Sanders in knowing the playbook and being a pro, being a quarterback, right?
Yeah. Dylan
can't throw.
Kind of a problem for that position.
Pickett is hurt and is likely to be released or traded. At least this is all speculation. I cannot reveal my source. This is just all stuff that I've heard. Flacco appears to be the guy, but he's old.
Right.
He has lost some zip on his passes.
And if a contender comes calling, you're dealing Joe Flacco. You could get a 6th round pick or a 5th round pick or something.
Z, from what I heard, no one's gonna come calling for Joe. Once they see Joe play, they will not be calling for Joe.
But here's the thing. You have injuries in camp. They are inevitable, right? Who are the 2 veteran stalwarts that you're going to call for? You're going to call for Kirk Cousins, who's expensive as fuck. You're probably not going to want to deal with that. Or Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco will be cheaper. If it's a short-term thing where it's like, oh, our quarterback's on IR, he'll be back in week 7, we just need a guy. Like, Joe Flacco can be a guy. Like,
I don't know. I've heard Justin Fields looks like trash at camp, too. I've heard he's had a really, really bad 3 days of practice. Let me see what I got here.
Aaron Glenn is optimistic that it's only just a blip.
Yeah. So in his last 3 practices with the Jets, he was 2 of 10, 4 of 16, and 2 of 6 with an interception.
Jesus Christ. It's worse than we thought.
Yeah.
And they're not calling for Joe Flacco.
Yeah. Maybe they should call the Dolphins about Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
So
maybe they'll call the Chiefs about Gardner Minshew.
So yeah, I think the person who's likely to get traded at this point is Pickett. Gabriel is going to likely be the backup while Shador hits practice squad.
Yeah.
Which makes him eligible to be picked up by any team.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to give Shador and Gabriel every possible opportunity because they drafted him. They invested draft capital in him. I mean, Kenny Pickett just cost them DTR, to be real. So there is no loyalty to Kenny Pickett just because
there's no loyalty, but you kind of look stupid.
Of course you look. It's the Browns. It's implied.
You look very, very stupid.
Yeah, you definitely do. And lest we forget, you also have Deshaun Watson under contract.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So that's the other. Dude. There's a lot of money invested in this quarterback position, and none of them can play. None of them can play. Yeah, I don't know. I think the Browns are. I don't know what they're gonna do. But it's clear that they aren't going to be contending for a title this year.
No way.
That's for sure.
Avoid messy accidents. Get better stopping power with your brake pads. Callahan brake pads. You never know when you'll be driving in the road and there will be a truck tire that you need to avoid and save your family. Callahan Auto. We really care about what's under your hood.
There were a lot of teams in Major League Baseball that feel like they're contending for a title. So there was a lot of action last week as the Major League Baseball trade deadline came and went. So Z, who are your winners and who are your losers?
Well, as far as winners go, you got to look at the assets that were moved. And you got to say that you gotta like what the Padres did, man.
Really? Okay.
You gotta. You bring in
fathers.
You're bringing in Mason Miller. Yeah, you got J.P. Sears, but he's
it cost him an arm and a leg. Z cost him an arm and a leg, man.
But you bring in a 24-year-old fireballer with a lot of potential and years of team control. Like that is the key here, and. They got the number 1 overall prospect.
Didn't they get Nestor Cortez too?
They did, but that's not. I'm not looking at that. He's a throw-in. He's just kind of like, we need a guy who's going to take a beating and give up a home run to Freddie Freeman. We got our guy. We got Nestor.
You can do this.
I seen it. You done it. But you bring in a guy like Mason Miller. Yes, this year he'll be in the bullpen, but I wouldn't put it past them to try and stretch him out and make him a starter and ruin this kid like they did Jabba Chamberlain. Like the Yankees tried to fuck him up. And succeeded. The Yankees succeeded.
They failed at moving Cease, though, right?
They did not move Cease, so they may be able to revisit that. Actually, I think he's a free agent. So
he's a free agent. Him, Michael King, Robert Suarez, and Luis Ariz are all headed to free agency.
So you brought in O'Hearn, you brought in Laureano, you're reinforcing for the stretch run here. Arias, you're going to want to keep. Arias is definitely going to be somebody that you're going to want to keep. Michael King, if I'm AJ Preller, I'm keeping Michael King. I'm trying to keep him because he's a solid pitcher. And if you let Dylan Cease walk, he's older, I believe. Michael King
He's hurt though, right?
Yes, but there's still plenty of potential there.
Would you say that the Padres now have the best bullpen in baseball? Are they that good?
With Suarez and Miller, they're up there. right? They're definitely
Well,
up there.
O'Hearn, Laureano.
O'Hearn and Laureano, like good position acquisitions, right? They needed an outfielder, they got Laureano. They needed a real first baseman. They got O'Hearn. Like, he could play, he could DH.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can't have 5 shortstops.
I don't think there's a
rotate
weak.
them in.
I don't think there's a weak spot in their order or
Not
their
anymore.
bullpen or their
Not
bullpen. I don't think there's a weak spot in their order or their bullpen. And Pivetta keeps shoving, and Cease or Yu Darvish, you would think that they're going to come around at some point. I mean, they're a legit contender
Absolutely.
to knock off the Dodgers now.
Absolutely. And they can play with any team. Like they're going to play with the Mets. Like the Mets, their acquisitions, I did like them.
Yeah, they
did
good.
solid.
They did
They're
good.
taking some time to settle in. But you got to like reinforcing the back end of the bullpen. It's deeper now. They could have used another starting pitcher. They didn't give up Jet Williams. They didn't give up their top level prospects. The highest they went was number 4. So it's not like they didn't give up Sproat. They didn't give up Tong. They didn't give the guys that you were hoping for. Benj is still here. You know, you were able to reinforce. My only issue is that a lot of them are free agents. So this is a, World Series or bust type move. Get hot, stranger things can happen, and then you go from there. Your chips are in the middle of the table, right? This half-assed kind of like stitching things together and hoping things will work, like the Rico Garcia claims, the multiple Rico Garcia moments, now pushed in the middle of the table. I like the Eugenio Suarez move. The Mariners, they smell blood, right? They smell a playoff berth. They're going for it. They went with him. They're going with Josh Naylor. They're actually putting an offense together that can complement their top of the level rotation. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. From the seller's standpoint, I love what the Twins are doing. I love that the Twins are moving shit because they're garbage. They're absolutely
The
going
team
nowhere.
is just perpetually bad.
It's going nowhere.
Always.
So
They're always
deal off
going
your
nowhere.
prospect. Deal off the guys and get something back. Yohan Duran to the Phillies, good move for them. Getting back Mick Abel, good move for the friggin' Twins. They understood and they cut bait. Losers for me, Tampa Bay. What are you? Are you a buyer? Are you a seller? If you were a seller, you didn't do enough. Right? You just didn't do enough. In theory, I like what the Yankees did. In theory, I understand it. Like having your 4 closers, right? The 4 horsemen, if you will. The problem is, Bednar, high leverage in Pittsburgh is not high leverage in the Bronx. Devin Williams is figuring that out right now. High leverage in Milwaukee is not high leverage in the Bronx. Camilo Doval, high leverage in San Francisco is not high leverage in the Bronx.
I don't even think they pitched to the Bronx yet.
That's the crazy part. They got swept by the Marlins.
First time in like 20 years or
Ever.
something like that. Oh, ever.
The Marlins have been around since 1993, and first time ever. Well done. Well fucking done. But
Way to go out there and compete, boys.
anything worth doing is worth doing right. But I'm also not really like... The Dodgers didn't really do that much, in my opinion, relative to what, they could have done. They were in on a few players, but ultimately, like, they're rolling with what they got. And I think, based on what San Diego did, I think San Diego could pass it, based on what they did at the trade deadline. So
They could. The only thing that could hurt the Padres and the only thing that could help the Dodgers is that I think the Dodgers understand how this new playoff format works. We just got to get serious in about 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, we got to fine tune and we got to be a well-oiled machine, and that's all that matters. Because at the end of the day, there's not many bullpens that can deal with their lineup in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. And I think the Dodgers know that. And that's why I don't think the Dodgers are overly concerned with where they finish or how things are going, because they've done it the last 2 years, right? They've competed at a high level all the way to the end, and they know how this shit works. You know, you're just, unless something happens to one of those, but right, the Padres, now both of us feel like they have a bullpen that could do it.
Absolutely.
They can do it. They might not be able to do it multiple nights, but in a leverage situation, they have the arms that can do it. I can't say that about the Yankees. I can't say that about the Reds. I can't say that about any other team in Major League Baseball, but I can say that about the Padres.
Well, you can say it about the Mets, like the Mets in terms of quality that they put together.
Yes. Yep.
The problem is, are they ever going to fucking hit?
Well,
Are
the
they gonna even hit
the only thing I would say about the Mets is I have concerns about that last guy in the ninth inning, Edwin Diaz. I believe in what they did, and I like him. I think he's a good player. I'm not shitting on him in any way, shape, or form, but he has the tendency to walk guys, get a little wild, and leave shit out in the middle of the plate against bad hitters. But if you do that against a very good hitter, or, you know, in a very important game, like to a Schwarber or an Ohtani, they're going to tank it. They're going to hit it out of the stadium.
But that's the one thing the Dodgers do well. And that's what we saw last year when they...
timely hitting?
No, working the zone.
Yeah.
They make you throw strikes.
Yeah.
And that was the problem last year against the Yankees. The Yankee bullpen was missing by like quarters of inches, like eighths of inches. They still missed.
Yeah.
The Dodgers don't chase. So you got to put it over the plate. And if you're going to put it over the plate, you got to have plus stuff. And Edwin Diaz has plus stuff. The problem is that when he gets wild, fucking forget it. Like, you might as well just, call it a day.
Right.
And I 100% agree with you on that. He's been better. He's absolutely been better.
He's on my team. He's on my fantasy team. He's great.
There you go.
He's great. But I don't watch him with confidence. When I watch him, I'm like, this could go either way. Not like when I watch Devin Williams, where I'm like, oh, this is over. There's a wrap here.
Devin Williams, that was a positive.
But I like what the Phillies did. I still would have liked to see them get Mike Trout, but they did get the bullpen help they needed. I think Duran is going to be great for them. And I like what the Mets did. I think the Mets did well. I was not. I mean, we're going to talk about the Yankees next, but to me, the Yankees needed to get a starter.
Yep.
I think the Astros. I didn't understand the Correa thing. We talked about it in live time. Yeah, that's great. He's going to play third or play shortstop. He's a 260 hitter. He's unnecessary. Where I think a Zach Gallen or, a top line pitcher to add to your team, it would have been game over. If the Astros would have gotten a starting pitcher, game over, guys. They're going to the American League Championship Series to face somebody, because that, in my opinion, is all this team is missing right now. The fact that they've been able to do what they're doing without McCullers, without Yordan Alvarez, it's unbelievable how this team is winning games. And they're up in their division by, I want to say, like 5 games. It's not even close.
But that goes to show you how mediocre
the American League is.
Yeah.
American League is trash.
I had expectations for the A's. Shame on me. The Angels, nobody gives a shit about. Sorry, Angels.
They were playing good until Mike Trout got hurt, and then
you could set your watch to that.
Shocker.
I know. And then the Rangers seem to be riding this ship, right?
They
seem to be doing it. The
They
Mariners,
took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees, right?
That division is probably going to field 3 playoff teams.
Wow, so you think the Rangers are going to make it?
I think the way the Rangers are playing, and here's the key. You keep DeGrom healthy, and now Evaldi's pitching at like a Cy Young level.
Evaldi he's on my team too. How did the Yankees let that guy go?
He wasn't at this level when he was on the Yankees. That's the
Even
thing.
Boston.
He was a good
He was with
thrower.
Boston too. I think he was with Boston too. Yeah.
When the Yankees got him, it was like, let's take a chance on this guy. He has a good arm,
He's a
but
stud.
he's been injured and he was ineffective.
Yeah.
Now he's come into his own. He's learned how to be a pitcher.
Stud.
You know, you put those two together, you got something, right? And even low key, I kind of like what the Tigers did too. You're going to get Paddock, even bringing in Charlie Morton. I know we joke about Charlie Morton.
That's the other thing. I think the Yankees missed on Paddock. He could have helped them. I think he could have helped them. I have his signed rookie auto. Beckett graded 9.
The Yankees need back of the rotation guys, right? You know, they cut bait on Stroman. They brought back Heel. Heel was ineffective. Yes, it's his first start. You give him a little bit of grace, but Heel, he ain't pitching. I wouldn't have confidence pitching him in a series in the postseason. Will Warren isn't. He might be the long man if the Yankees are getting beat around, right? Or he might be like an opener. Like that team it's Max Fried, Carlos Rodon. That's it, right? And then you're right. They whiffed. They addressed the bullpen fine, but.
Zach Allen could help them too, man.
I was surprised he didn't get traded. I was wondering what they were asking for.
They probably were asking for a lot, but
Merrill Kelly got moved to the Rangers. He probably could have helped with the Yankees. That could have been fine. You know, you could have kicked the tires. I mean, there are a bunch of ways you could have gone. You know, like a guy like Adrian Hauser got moved. Yeah, he hasn't been great. He's pitching to a 2.5 ERA this year. So you just kind of like figure that shit out. It wasn't great for the Mets. Maybe you catch lightning in a bottle, right? Maybe he's this year's Aaron Small. Maybe he's this year's Sean Chacon. The Yankees have dumpster dived in the past and brought in guys who were kind of critical to a certain year's team. Because then you go ahead next year and they were god-awful. Kind of like when they brought in Freddie Garcia and when they brought in Bartolo Colon. This wasn't Mariner Freddie Garcia. This wasn't Indian, then Cleveland Indian, Bartolo Colon. These were guys who were trying to reprove or prove that they still had it. And you catch lightning in a bottle. And I think the Yankees whiffed in that regard. And they didn't address the other elephant. The Yankees have a lot of elephants in the room. They didn't address defense. They got Ryan McMahon, but then they go get Jose Caballero, and he makes the game-losing error.
shit.
But why is he in right field? He's a shortstop. I get he's kind of learning. He's trying to be a utility guy, but why'd you stick the fucker out there? So
He does, I think, lead the league in stolen bases.
Oh, good. They have another league leader. So you have the league leader in errors and Volpe, and you have the league leader in stolen bases.
Can't believe that guy didn't get moved.
I am surprised. I'm absolutely surprised.
But the New York Yankees were not able to move Anthony Volpe, but they did get some relievers. They tried to get a starting pitcher, but there just weren't a lot out there worth taking a risk on. Still, the problem with the Yankees seems to be fundamentals. Their shortstop leads the league in errors, players getting doubled up on infield pop-ups, players getting thrown out at home without sliding, getting thrown out at third without sliding. Oh my gosh. And then you got Devin Williams, who is just an absolute disaster. So Jeter, A-Rod, and Big Papi seem to know who this falls on, but they would not say it during their Fox network broadcast. Who do you think it falls on?
You also have Austin Wells forgetting how many outs there were on a ground ball to third base. Was walking back to the dugout and got tagged out. Well done. Maybe he was thinking about the next breakfast burrito he was going to eat on social media and grade that. You want me to say it's Aaron Boone? You want me to say it? The fans want me to say it. Everybody wants to say Aaron Boone. While that is true, he is a symptom of the problem, and the problem is twofold. It is Fishman, and it is Cashman. Cashman has been in the job for 28 years. yes, he was one of the forefront proponents of analytics, right? He was using them. Like, when Billy Beane made it popular, Cashman came in, swooped in, let me learn all this so I can be better than the Yanks. And he did well at it, right? Theo Epstein, Brian Cashman, they adapted and they learned how to do this. And they were able to achieve Moneyball with big pockets. Good for them. He has not evolved. The evolution has not been there. And, as you have said multiple times, there are more big fish in this pond. So the Yankees can't outspend guys anymore.
That's right.
They can't outspend the Mets. They can't outspend the Dodgers. They can't outspend the Padres. They certainly can't outspend the Red Sox. So they can't outspend the Cubs. Like the Cubs are a
Good.
formidable team, and they've been spending. So Brian Cashman, his inability to kind of grow and evolve, and the prospect hugging. How many times have we seen it? Phil Hughes, Jabba Chamberlain, Ian Kennedy, Gary Sanchez, Spencer Jones. The only prospect he hugged...
Clint Frazier,
who's talking shit. Jabba Chamberlain and Clint Frazier talking shit on X. It's fantastic. The only prospect that he hugged that was actually the right call was almost traded to the Braves for Jason Hayward. Aaron Judge. In an alternate universe, you could have Ronald Acuna and Aaron Judge on the same team. Think about that. I'll let that sit in. So, Brian Cashman has been cheeks at his job for a while. Then comes Fishman. Fishman, who is the head analytics guru, who we believe is setting up these lineups, these organizational philosophies, and they just need a guy to implement it, right? And that's where Aaron Boone comes in. You want a guy, you want a Jack Ruby. You just want a guy who's just going to do what he's told. And it kind of sounds like Aaron Boone is a good soldier. He's doing what he's told. He's taking the slings and arrows for Cashman, for Fishman, for this front office, and for this organization. So, do I want him gone? Absolutely. I think Aaron Boone is terrible at his job. I absolutely think he's booty. He's basura. But he is being set up to be basura. Right? Kind of like the puppet master. Somebody's pulling his strings. And those strings are financial and philosophical. And that points to Cashman, and it points to Fishman.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is, when you're going by analytics, right? You're being told to go by analytics, go by the book. And it doesn't work. Is it your fault? Whose fault is it? Like, if you're telling me to go by this paper that's analytics that says, it's this, let's say it's the 8th inning and my pitcher's at 96 pitchers, and even though he's throwing a no-hitter, I need to take him out, and I take him out, and then we lose the game. Is that on me, or is that on the analytics? Same thing is like, Devin Williams pitched like shit yesterday. He's pitched like shit all season, but I'm going to put him in because I want the matchup, And I'm not doing it because of feel. I'm not doing it because what I see. I'm doing it because this piece of paper told me to do so, and you told me to go buy this paper.
Right. Carlos Rodon's third time through the order, his average goes up 100. Shut the fuck up.
Get him out. He's got to come out. And then when he comes out, and my bullpen blows the game, I'm just doing what I'm told, guys. I'm just doing what I'm told. This is how I've been able to be in this job for 8 years, and I haven't won shit because I just do what I'm told to do. So it goes, to me, it doesn't go on Aaron Boone. Aaron Boone is exactly what they want him to be. He is a stooge. He's a pigeon. He does whatever they tell him to do. He doesn't make the lineup. He either makes the lineup with Cashman or Cashman gives him the lineup. Like that, There's not a doubt in my mind that that's how this is playing out. There's no way Dominguez could be in a slump, has a great day, and the next day you put him on the bench. What are you doing? What are you doing? There's no way you could watch Devin Williams pitch against the Rangers and then say, "Well, you're coming. We'll get you in a hot spot tomorrow. We'll get you in a high leverage system tomorrow." Yeah. What? Why? He's got a 5 ERA. He clearly cannot pitch either in New York or just can't do his job anymore. His changeup doesn't change. His changeup and his fastball are the same fucking thing. Like, he's just not. And it could be a what was that pitcher that was pitched for the Yankees? He's a starter and he just was awful here. But then Sonny Gray. It could be a Sonny Gray situation. It could be just the lights are too bright here, or it's just too high pressure. It could just be that. But you got to.
Whitson, Steve Trout, like this is historical.
I'm just saying, you've got to take the temperature of the room. You've got to get a good. I've been watching a lot of Gary Sheffield talk lately. He's been on All the Smoke. Good show. I like that podcast. And he was saying, he's like, I'm not telling you to get rid of all the analytics. Some of it's very helpful, but we got to find an even ground. You've got to mix in feeling. You've got to mix in emotion. You've got to, like, not bunting. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like Volpe, if you can't hit it, bunt it down the damn line and run to first base. Like, stop trying to kill everything. That's the other thing, is everybody's trying to kill the baseball. How about you just get a base hit? Get a CNI single, man. Get on base.
It would be nice.
Just get on base.
They're so fundamentally flawed that, I mean, you mentioned Yorby Vivas. Like, that took a miraculous throw from Acuna.
What a throw.
What amazing throw.
Amazing throw.
Amazing throw.
But still, dude, get down.
Slide.
Just get down.
That's it. And Rojas is telling him to get down. It's not like he's like got his thumb up his ass.
I gotta say it in Spanish, man. Get down.
That's it. But Chisholm, inexcusable.
Get back. Get back. Asshole. Get back.
I thought he was going to drop it. I'd 100% do it again. And
even if he dropped it, you were still not going to make it to second base.
Bingo, you're getting doubled off.
You're still getting doubled up.
That's it. Austin Wells, how the fuck do you forget in this day and age with all these goddamn scoreboards? How do you forget, even if you like mentally forget, right? Even if there's a mental lapse, you look up. Oh shit, there's one out.
Shit,
there's one. It says one. Like, this is where coaching comes in, right? One out, freeze on the line drive. Anything on the ground, you go. Like, the shit that was drilled into our heads in Little League. The fundamentals. They're putting the dumb in fundamentals. That is what they are doing. And the fact that they're doubling down on the stupidity and they're not being held to account. That is where Aaron Boone comes in. Right? That's what he should be doing. Right? You shouldn't be reaming out the first base coach.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you not running back to first base? How do you not know how many outs there are? Hey, asshole! What are you doing?
Get back! Get back! Get back!
Down! Go down!
Down, motherfucker! Down!
Right. And you know as well as I, in any day and age, you get your ass reamed for that. But now it's like common practice in the Bronx. It's common practice with the Yankees to play with your head up your ass.
I forget who it was, but I was reading something about some manager, maybe it was Billy Martin, like in the 70s, and it was like, if we lost the game, you just didn't want to touch the buffet table when you came back into the clubhouse. If somebody touched the food, he just flipped the table over. You want to eat? You want to eat now? You just knew better, right? You just knew better. Like, you just didn't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. Like, and there's nobody getting in their faces about it. And granted, like, we are in a different day and age, and people don't really always respond well to that stuff. But at some point,
but that's the role of the manager.
But at some, I was never a player that responded well to that. I never did, right? But at some point, you just have to get at somebody. Like, what the fuck are you? Nice catch, Hayes. Don't ever
Don't ever
fucking do it again.
Now, here's the thing. If the manager and the coaching staff aren't going to do it, then the players have to do it.
Yeah.
Right? Derek Jeter had Jorge Posada. That was his consigliere. That was his designated hitman. When something needed to be done, Jorge Posada said it. Right?
Sure.
Aaron Judge, nice guy. Nice guy. Who's his enforcer? Like, is there an enforcer on this team? No. So if it's an abdication of management, right? Because this is where the analytics comes in, right? The feel for the game. You can't anticipate that Jazz Chisholm is just going to get doubled off there, right? You're not going to anticipate that Austin Wells is going to forget how many outs there are. You're not going to anticipate that Vivas isn't going to slot. You're not going to anticipate any of this stuff. But you're going to keep rolling that lineup out there because, the numbers dictate. The numbers are results based on human beings. Human beings have feelings. Human beings have bad days. Human beings are going up against other human beings. It's not it's not a simulation, right? It's not. You're not simulating the show. It's not Stratomatic. Like you need to have a feel. Right? If the organization doesn't have a feel, and the manager doesn't have a feel, and the players don't have a feel, what are we doing?
What are we doing indeed?
What are we doing?
The Red Hot Brewers are coming to Queens this weekend to play a very interesting series against the New York Mets. The Mets were almost no hit today. They've been struggling with the hitting lately. What do you expect to see this weekend?
They're actually on the road in Milwaukee. Thank God they're on the road in Milwaukee. Thank God.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought they were coming to Queens.
No. Thank God they're not. After that no-hitter that wasn't, oh, shit. Oh, Jesus.
Sorry about that.
No. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. But what do I expect? I expect the Red Hot Brewers to stay red hot. They do all the little things well. They hit, they pitch, they run. They are irritants. And Murphy has them playing well.
That's a good manager.
Murphy is a very good manager. Now, last year, we said Carlos Mendoza probably should have won Manager of the Year over Murphy. And to a degree, there was something to be said about that. This year, there's just the top of the order. They're going through a collective funk, and as they go, the team goes, right? There's nothing to back up Lindor, Soto, Alonso, and Nimmo. And you saw it today. You absolutely saw it today. And by extension, the last 12 innings, because they hadn't had a hit since the fourth inning of the previous game yesterday. So, as this offense goes, the team goes. Peterson, he had a decent day. Like, he's giving up the long ball now. Like, he's not where he was prior to the All-Star break.
What was the deal with Holmes yesterday? Why did you take him out?
You got
75 pitches?
Yeah, he's on an innings limit. This is the most that he's
because he's never pitched this much, right?
Since his rookie year. Like, he's still on that innings limit. Peterson is hitting his innings wall, right? Montas should be shot into the sun. Like, that is proving to be terrible. Minaya had a bad day. Like, this team is unraveling as it's getting whole, and that's not a good thing.
Marlins are coming.
I don't know about that. They still got about 15 games.
Wow, is that much?
Yeah, so they still got, well, actually, no, it's like, I think it's 8. But
yeah,
still.
that sounds about right.
Yeah, but still. This team gets right, watch out. But the problem is that it hasn't been right since June. And that's been the problem with both New York teams. They have been sub 500 since June. I believe it's 498, somewhere in there. Combined. That's not good. The hitters ain't hitting. The starters can't give you length. Your bullpen is gassed. 100%. And, you have guys like Brazaban who were getting thrown out there every day because they were good at their job. Like all other jobs, you show you're competent, you get rewarded with more work. The problem is that for a pitcher, that's going to wear you down. So now he's currently in AAA. So they reinforced with Rogers. They reinforced with Raley. They reinforced with Soto. They brought in, they added to the back end of the bullpen, and it makes sense to do so. Shorten the game when you have pitchers that can't go more than 5 innings. I get it. Absolutely. You can now move Stanek and Garrett back. And they seem to be doing better in those lower leverage situations. They seem to be doing better. Reed Garrett, I think, had a pretty decent outing. But if you're not going to hit, it doesn't matter how well you pitch. It doesn't matter. Because you'll lose the game 1-0. And we're back in the Jacob deGrom era. Oh, I only gave 1 run. Okay. What do you mean you gave up a run, you son of a bitch?
Yeah, was it Lindor and Alonso are hitting terrible right now.
And Soto. Soto's about 200 right now. Yes, he hit a home run to break up the no-hitter today, but I think he's at around 200 since June. Nimmo hasn't been great. He's been better than those 3, but it's been a challenge. It's been rough since the beginning of June. And if they have any playoff aspirations, they need to figure this shit out, because this payroll, this team, on paper, is a hell of a lot better than it's showing in reality.
For sure.
Step outside of your safe area and make a statement without saying much with FCK Clout Lifestyle Apparel. Embrace the colorful chaos and stay emotionally regulated in their graphic tees, hoodies, snapbacks, accessories, and more. Go to fckclout.com today and check out current season and past season merchandise for men and women. Get it while you can. That's fckclout.com. Check them out today. fckclout.com.
Moving over to football, in the landscape-altering deal, Disney will acquire assets from the NFL media, including NFL Network, and with the league acquiring a 10% ownership stake in the sports media giant. ESPN will fully own NFL Network, with plans to bake it into the upcoming direct-to-consumer streaming service. The Red Zone channel, meanwhile, will join Disney's linear portfolio, with Disney also planning to merge its ESPN fantasy football product with NFL Media's fantasy product. Perhaps most importantly, the NFL will also license games, Red Zone, NFL Films programming, and other content and rights to ESPN, potentially supercharging the streaming service with the deal when the deal closes. That's a pretty big deal.
That's huge. It's absolutely huge. Plus, today, ESPN also bought the rights to every WWE US premium live event. So, your question to me when we were discussing this in our production meetings, where is ESPN getting this money from?
Yeah.
And it's like, the answer is Disney, right? The answer is always Disney. Now, to your point, Disney's not doing as well. But
2% growth, 2% growth, 3% growth, 4% growth, somewhere in that area.
Growth is growth, man. It does, growth is growth. Like Buck Russell, Molly Russell's worth. It's just my tumor, my growth. But the Marvel movies haven't been doing as well as they have been in the past, but they're still generating revenue, right? You still have ESPN, you still have ABC, you still have Disney Plus, you still have all of these rights and royalties. You all have all this intellectual property that brings in buku bucks. And now you add the NFL Network to the mix, and that's interesting. That's very interesting to me. My concern is that they're going to put their ESPN flavor on.
They are. There will be commercials.
It's not even about the commercials. I don't care about the commercials. What I don't want is, well, Scott Hansen has already said, like, he is going to be the voice of the red zone. Perfect. Don't touch any of the NFL network programming. Let it be Rich Eisen. Let it be Kurt Warner. Let it be Michael Irvin. Do not put ESPN people. Do not mix. Do not cross the streams, to quote Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I think Rich Eisen's going to be going over to ESPN.
Which is fine. Don't let Pat McAfee go anywhere near the NFL network. That's it. You've sullied your product by going with these personalities, right? With Stephen A., with Pat McAfee. You've tethered yourself to this horse. And that's the reason why people don't really watch the network anymore.
I don't watch it.
Me neither. I don't even watch PTI anymore. It's sad, but it's part and parcel, right? You have Greeny, and then Wilbon's becoming a TV personality. I liked it better when Wilbon was a journalist, a legit Chicago journalist from the Washington Post. I appreciate that. Now it's too much shtick. The get-upification of sports. It's no good. And if they want, they can have Good Morning Football, because that I hate that show.
Yeah, that show sucks.
That show sucks. So they can put that on after Get Up and call it a day. That's fine. But they really, the stain of ESPN cannot permeate the NFL Network programming, because what they had was good. What they did worked. So I just, that's my greatest fear. As far as the WWE goes, it's another revenue stream. It's another way for them to kind of get their pay-per-views out there, kind of like in the same vein that UFC is on ESPN Plus. Like, all the major fight cards are on ESPN Plus. So it kind of is what it is in that regard. It's probably going to replace traditional pay-per-view. Unless they're doing away with the Netflix, like seeing the PLEs on Netflix and stuff.
Yeah, I would assume that's going to go away.
But that's a huge deal. They've negotiated that huge deal with Netflix, and I'm sure that's going to rub them the wrong way too. So I'm very intrigued to see where that goes. But, for me, my major concern is that ESPN is going to fucking ruin it by making it ESPN again.
Yep, they will. It's just interesting that the NFL, got so much involved with Disney and ESPN. I guess Disney was smart to do this, right? Disney and ESPN were smart to do this. They know how popular football is in America. Oh, yeah. And they're like, we're just going to get the best sport, and we're going to really become the sport hub,
So do you think they did this in response to the NBA leaving?
I don't know if they pay attention to all that stuff. I think they did it because they need to increase their revenue. And how are we going to do that? We're going to do that by becoming exclusive with the National Football League. We're going to be exclusive for the WWE. We're gonna get the most popular things, and they're gonna be, we're gonna be one. We're gonna be in time, because let's face it, Red Zone is super popular. It is a big deal. I mean, what they charge for it is absurd. So I can see, it's unbelievable. Like I said, I don't see how they have the money to do all this. I think the deal was like $1 billion, something like that. But I'm curious who approached who over it, because I'm wondering how long this was brewing for. And I'm sure the NBA and Major League Baseball were like, fuck. Even the NHL too.
Yeah. I mean, but from the standpoint of...
Because even now, the ESPN has Shaq and Kenny and that group too.
Yeah, inside the NBA went there.
Right, they're just buying everything. You're just like, damn. It's very, very surprising.
And the idea, I still don't understand.
So I would assume now with that happening, my guess is Major League Baseball is going to go to Apple because they're very interested in that. And I guess now I wonder what's going to happen with the Prime games, right? I wonder how long that's going to keep going. But they may have signed a long-term deal for that. Where does the NBA go? NBA, they might have to go to NBC. I don't know.
They're on NBC. Yeah, I think NBC is the way that they're going. I'm just like the Peacock games, the Peacock exclusive games, Netflix on Christmas for the NFL. Like, what do all these deals now get blown up?
No,
what's
because
on?
they were signed for a certain amount of years, so that's not going to go away. That's not going to go away.
Yeah. So it's definitely a monopoly. Like, we just need to figure out where they're going.
But ESPN might get but I would assume that ESPN will get a piece of that pie. I would assume eventually, like if they wanted, like once the contract goes, if they renegotiate it, it's like, all right, we get 10%.
Yeah. But how long before NHL Network becomes absorbed? How long before MLB Network gets absorbed?
I don't know. I don't know if the value's there. I don't know if that kind of value is there. You've got a better chance of getting college football. That might be the next
network,
one.
The Big Ten Network.
Yeah.
Like how long before this becomes giant sports entertainment monopoly?
Yeah, I think if you were Netflix or you were Prime, that might be the route you want to go next. Is try to get college football. I don't think Major League Baseball brings in the dough. I don't think it does. That's why I think they're more for like an Apple or a Tubi, something like that. Like, it's just not as appealing. It's not right now. It's not at this moment. But things could change.
I mean, speaking from my experience with Apple TV and MLS, that's going to be a major mistake for Major League Baseball if they end up on Apple TV. If they put their product behind a paywall, like the MLS has put their product behind a paywall, that's going to be disastrous for them. So they need to stay on free TV in some form or fashion. Stick with Fox. If that's going to be the case, just stick with Fox and just kind of counter program. I don't know what the NHL is going to do. I mean, they probably have to stick with ESPN just because who else is out there, right? Who else is going to do that? I can't see another network vying for their services. NBC is going to go. I think they already snapped up the NBA. So they have the NBA. But this is the world we're living in right now, where it's all about the media rights. It's all about that. Damn the product, quality, whatever. It's just about gathering as much media rights as possible, and whoever has the most at the end wins. It's like a giant game of Monopoly. And as we know, we've all played Monopoly. People get bored and frustrated and tip over the table, and then game over. So what's weird is that it's all very nebulous, right? This new endeavor that ESPN is putting out there. It's like, I still don't really understand what it is, and they're not doing a good job of explaining it to me. So, I mean, we're going to watch. We're going to be invested in it, but I need a little bit more clarity as a consumer before I part with my money. I really know what the hell's going on here, and how is it different from ESPN Plus? How are we?
It's not. It's going to be absorbed into it.
Right.
So the NFL. So my understanding is it'll be kind of like backwards compatible. Like NFL Plus is not going away. It's basically just being absorbed by ESPN Plus. So that's going to be one. That's where it's all going to be in the same spot. So I'm sure that Hulu or Disney will have different packages that include, certain things, like it'll include the ESPN Plus or ESPN shows. Oh, and plus NFL Network. Oh, and plus Red Zone. Like, think of it as like a cable. Think of it as like Cablevision, right? And it has like Showtime, and it has HBO, and it has Cinemax, and you're like, okay, well, I want this package which includes, just Showtime, or I want this package that just includes HBO. It's going to be like that. But they're going to be But the thing about this is like, from what I'm reading and what I'm understanding, is that ESPN and NFL are going to be sharing in the profits, which is massive. Like,
that's going to be huge. But my concern always is fan experience. Like, what is this going to do? How is this going to go? And if it's going to be more expensive and more complicated. It's something I don't.
Not going to be more complicated, but it's going to be more expensive.
Yeah, and at some point you reach a breaking point. As a consumer, you reach a breaking point, especially with streaming services. It's just like, how much more are you going to suck out of me? Right? I already got a Peacock subscription. I already got a Hulu. So
the future will be that you have 3 or 4 subscriptions, and that's your entertainment. And you get to pick. Right now you might have 4 or 5, but eventually the price is going to get so steep that you're like, I can't do this anymore. So, most economical people will probably have like 1 or 2. But if you're doing well, you'll have 3 or 4. That's the direction we're heading. That's where we're going. That's where we're going.
Unfortunately, like,
I think it's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I don't mind. I like I cut the cord back in 2021, and I had Hulu and I had Netflix, and I got in on Disney Plus in the beginning, and then we have Prime. I don't have Apple TV. I'm not interested in it at all.
Yeah, I mean, there's some decent stuff on Apple TV, and
I could honestly do without Prime.
Yeah,
but it's part of our Amazon thing.
Yeah,
but if they jacked up the price on that, I would let that shit go.
Yeah.
The most important thing to me is my Hulu and my Disney Plus. That's all I care about. Netflix, it's fine, but I don't need it.
Yeah, I mean, we have Netflix, but it's like one of those. Like you said, it's not something. I'm not watching WWE. I'm not watching Raw. I'm not doing that.
My kids watch Netflix more than I watch Netflix. Yeah. Although I will say that I enjoyed watching The Quarterback season 2, but it's not my go-to.
Yeah. And we watch more ESPN Plus just recently, just because we're watching Westchester SC on there. We're actually taking in some of the content. 30 for 30s are on there, so that part's great. You run the risk of pricing people out. At one point, how much is too much? That's the thing you got to be worried about. And at the end of the day, everybody's vying for your entertainment dollar, and you'll spend what you feel is worth it. But if they're just going to keep asking for more and more and more and more and more and more and more, eventually it's not going to be worth it to you. And I think sooner rather than later, the straw is going to break the camel's back.
When owning a home, it's important to have heating and cooling professional available when things go wrong. Air Care Technicians is a veteran-owned HVAC company servicing the Westchester area. They are licensed to service, repair, maintenance, and replace all HVAC units. If your unit is not running properly, or you would like to improve the air quality in your home, contact Air Care Technicians for a free quote. They offer same-day and emergency services for all of your needs. You can reach them at 914-315-1547. Air Care Technicians, 914-315-1547.
Fair or foul? Judging the more messed up stories of the week.
right, boys and girls, we have a statement. It's either fair or foul. Fair or foul, number 1. The Speedway Classic was a disaster.
Trash. It was trash. I tuned in during the rain delay. It just looked stupid. It looked stupid. It felt stupid. I think I sent you a screenshot of one of the seats because it was all the way up in the rafters, and you couldn't
view, yeah.
You couldn't see anything because it's a race car track. And I don't know how much you had to spend to be in the stands around the race car track. It was so stupid. I hope they never do this again. And then the other thing was the best players were hurt. They didn't even play. What am I watching this for? Acuna didn't play. Riley didn't play. Basura.
Completely foul. I agree with you, completely foul. Now, 91,032 people went. So there's something to be said about that, right? So maybe it was different live. Maybe it was different in person. It was just a different experience, but I can't see it. I really can't see it. You have the
but Z, I think it was a spectacle, right?
Yeah.
It was a spectacle, and I'm pretty sure that this was in Bristol, Tennessee,
yes,
where they don't have any fucking sports. So this was what there was to do on this particular weekend, this particular day.
First ever Major League Baseball game in the state of Tennessee.
Okay,
no kidding.
That's why people went. It's kind of like the stadium series that we have here. Like the Winter Classic games. Yeah. I went to one. I'll never go to one again. It was freezing and it was awful. I was so far away, I couldn't tell what the hell was going on. I'll never do that again. I did it once and I'll never do it again.
It's an experience. It's a spectacle. It's exactly what you're saying.
It's a spectacle. But that's what I'm talking about. These commissioners are becoming like the WWE. Like you're becoming sports entertainment, and it's not. You're not up to it's like you're a circus. It's like the circus came to Bristol, Tennessee.
They're competing for your money. They're competing for your eyeballs. They're competing for your money.
You're playing a baseball game in a race car on a race car track.
Right. Well, think of it like college basketball. They've played on an aircraft carrier.
My buddy actually is trying to pitch them playing a football game on an aircraft carrier.
I don't know how that would work.
Apparently, the dimensions are very close.
So they would have to net the entire thing, right, to make sure they don't lose the ball.
I mean, or just have multiple balls.
Yeah. It was just, man, it went through the uprights and into the fucking ocean again.
But I would assume that you're going to have to put some ships together for stands.
Right.
Because the field is going to be on one ship.
Yeah, so it's going to have to be like a network, almost like an erector set full of aircraft.
The only thing I always thought would be really cool is if they played an NBA game on Park Avenue or played it on Madison Avenue. I thought that'd be kind of cool. In the middle of the street, set up the court, you can bring in stands, and you'll roll out a hardwood so that they can fall and not hurt themselves. I think that would be, and you play it like a night game. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Well, way back when, there was an exhibition game, Rangers Kings, played outdoors at Caesar's Palace, where WWE had WrestleMania 9. They set up a rink there, and it ended up being a precursor to the Vegas Golden Knights. That's interesting. Now, I get it. You're trying to do something different, right? They did it with the Field of Dreams game. They did it with the Williamsport series. That has been, but those are tangentially.
Cool.
They're related to baseball.
Yeah.
They're related. They played a game at Fort Bragg. Okay, that's fine. I think I think it was a holiday. A veteran was it? It was Memorial Day weekend.
But you're treating it like it's a circus,
right?
They play in the Field of Dreams. Why? Of two teams that have nothing to do with that area. Why? Right. Why are we doing this?
Right. Well, at least the White Sox were in the movie. They were in the short story. They were essential to the plot of the movie and the book. The Yankees could have been anybody. but the White Sox were critical to that.
Then they go and play games in England. Who the fuck wants to go watch baseball in England?
Never again.
The London series.
No London, no Paris, even Mexico City. Like, Mexico City was fine once. I don't need to see it again.
Oh, they're playing in Brazil. The football's going to be in Brazil.
Don't need it. Don't need it. You had to have both teams change their colors because green is a gang color down there. That's why they changed the damn colors last year. So there's something to just tried and true. There's something to that. I don't need to have a football game at the Eiffel Tower. Like, I don't need to have a baseball game, on a barge in international waters. I'm not giving them ideas. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Rob Manfred, do not do that.
Let's have a game on the Panama Canal.
Let's have a game in Alcatraz. I think they have a baseball diamond in Alcatraz.
Let's have a game in Dunkirk.
Oh my God. Let's have it's just ridiculous. We're just giving them bad ideas, and they're going to listen, and they're like, this is great. Is everybody writing this shit down? Somebody write this shit down. You getting this?
Let's have a game on a golf course. Oh. Let's play football on a golf course.
Let's play basketball on an ice rink. Oh, Jesus. Fair or foul. Number 2. The wellness policy, including Lawrence Taylor, Triple H, and Harrison Butker.
There are 30 members of this council. Those are just some of the headliners. Lawrence Taylor didn't even know why he was there. He's like, I don't even know what we're going to be doing, but I'm here to serve you, President Trump. And I'll do whatever it needs to be. They don't even know what they're doing there, man. It's like, there's other important shit that's going on that needs attention than this stupid crap. Like all these and it's like, you didn't ask LeBron to be part of this council. You didn't ask Curry to be part of this council. I heard that they asked Saquon, and he was like, I just didn't understand what it was. And my people told me no.
Well, I mean, from what I understood, he played golf with the president, and then all of a sudden he was on this thing. Like,
but he also played golf with Obama, and he was getting heat for playing golf with anybody. He's like, I just like playing golf, and they want to play golf with me. What's the problem?
If you're telling me I'm going to go play golf for free, I'm going to go play golf for free. I understand that. Completely foul. LT is
like, it's good. Just the lineup of people.
Yeah.
Triple H. Fuck is Triple H doing there?
Well,
I forget all the names of the people. It was just like, what?
Well, those 3 in particular are the ones that stand out, right?
I think Mariano Rivera is also on there.
Oh, great. Mariano Rivera. He was also embroiled in some, like, sexual assault.
That's right.
Ring
he
too.
Was. That's going on right now.
There's that. You have Harrison Butker and his views on women. You have Triple H as part of the whole bigger picture.
Who was there when Vince McMahon was doing all this crazy shit.
And there are allegations of him being racist from how booking goes, how
That's great.
Bobby Lashley somehow isn't viable as a main eventer or even as a wrestler in my company. We can't book him on WrestleMania. I don't know. I can't put my finger on why we can't book him. I don't understand a guy who has all those tools. Why can't we book him? And then LT, who's a registered fucking sex offender.
He's got a no contest with a 16-year-old, right?
Who said she was 19 allegedly. No, sir. No. That's what you wanted to hear. No. You are a registered sex offender. Why the hell? Why should we take this seriously? You're absolutely right. It's a distraction. It's nonsense. I don't disagree with the idea of a physical fitness council. I don't disagree with bringing back the presidential physical fitness exam. He couldn't even pass the fucking test. That's the irony of it. Let's bring it back. Do some jumping jacks, man. Let's see if you can do it. But the messenger and the other people tangentially associated with this message just drag it down to the level of comedy. They'll drag it down to the level of distraction. And it is just a waste of everybody's time. So that's just, once again, wasted air and wasted breath, which could have been used for something else, for something better.
Your favorite podcast has its own merch line now. Go to the Fade Store with DNZ.com today and check out our releases in apparel, accessories, drinkware, and more. Ever wanted an Alleged Superstar t-shirt? We got those. You want some yoga pants? We got those too. And we're not done yet. We have a lot of exciting collaborations and new products on the way. But check out what we have now at the Fade Store with DNZ.com. That's the Fade Store with DNZ.com. Who's the best of the worst this week in sports? The Fade Store presents the Alleged Superstar of the Week Award.
Alright, boys and girls, you know what time it is. It's time for the Alleged Superstar of the Week. You know how it goes. We put up a poll on our X account at FadeRouteDNZ and our Instagram poll at FadeRoutePodcast, and you vote. And you vote, and you vote, and you vote. And the winner of said vote gets a shout out in this year's show, takes home the coveted ass trophy. And do you know who took home the coveted ass trophy? Do you?
I don't.
That would be Mr. Skip Bayless.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I thank my lucky stars that the shooter took the wrong elevator. You fucking nitwit. You nitwit. Choose your words better, or just shut up. Like to bring back the old Mike and Mike. Just shut up. That was last week. This is this week. Who are your nominees for Alleged Superstar of the Week, dude?
All right, so first up, I've got the quarterback of the New York Jets, Justin Fields, having a stellar practice this week. In those last 3 practices with the Jets, he's been 2 of 10, 4 of 16, and 2 of 6 with an interception. Things are going lovely in Florham Park. Justin Fields, you are my Alleged Superstar of the Week. Number 2, I've got Alan Lazard, wide receiver for the New York Jets. Yesterday, he said that the current wide receiver room is the most talented wide receiver room he's ever been a part of during his 8-year career in the NFL. This is a guy who shared a wide receiver room with Randall Cobb and Devontae Adams in Green Bay and in New York, evidently, too. But the current one who has Curley, Wilson, Smith, Reynolds, Pritchard, Miller, Johnson, Gibson, and Corley is way better than any room he's ever been in his life. Test this man for CTE. Alan Lazard, you are my Alleged Superstar of the Week. And my last one is Aaron Boone, the pseudo-manager of the New York Yankees. You don't learn your lesson. You go to Williams 2 days in a row, and he gives up the go-ahead run in both games. Then in both press conferences, you defend him. You get behind him and behind your decision like you're Robert Saleh.
It's right in front of us.
Just say he sucked today. It was a bad move. He didn't play well. It's okay to admit you made the wrong decision, and it's okay for him to be bad. Aaron Boone, you are my Alleged Superstar of the Week. What do you got, Z?
It's right in front of us. It's right in front of us.
Damn it.
God damn it. That being said, I'm going to start with the Yankees. For the first time ever, the Yankees were swept by the Marlins.
Gonna catch me a Marlin.
Yeah. Oh my God. This team built a super pen, right? The Super Bowl pen with Bednar and Duvall and Weaver and Williams. And that's what they did all over the game this weekend. You scored 12 runs, bully. That's great. But then the bullpen comes in, 13-12 final score. Good job. New York Yankees, you are my Alleged Superstar of the Week. Number 2, the New York Mets. Jesus Christ. Jesus goddamn Christ. Are you kidding me? They have lost 8 of their last 10. They had previously, before Juan Soto's home run in the 9th inning today, had been no hit for 12 innings, 12 consecutive innings, leading back to the 4th inning of the previous game. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Again, it doesn't matter what bullpen pieces you acquire. If you ain't hitting, it don't matter. New York Mets, you are my alleged superstar of the week. And then number 3, this one's relatively recent, as of a couple hours ago, the Colorado Rockies. Toronto Blue Jays 20, Colorado Rockies 1. Jesus Christ. This is the reason why there should be relegation in Major League Baseball. Colorado Rockies, you are my alleged superstar of the week. I think we said our piece. Go to our X account at Fade Route Podcast. Drop us a line on our Instagram poll at Fade Route Podcast and vote. And vote, and vote, and vote. And for our nominees.
You're better than that. Just do better. Just do better.
This has been the Fade Route with D&Z. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Catch our podcast on Wednesday nights on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, or wherever you listen to your podcast. So until next time, stay fade, everyone.
Time for us to run the go route. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks for listening to this episode of our podcast. If you liked what you heard and you want to hear more, be sure to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Leave us a review, rate us 5 stars, turn on subscription notifications, and share on social media. Tell your friends and spread the word.